Yeah, obviously we were having a lot of success throwing the ball. Picked up a big 4th and 16. Really kind of throughout the day, you look at the success Trace had throwing the football. We were able to mix the run in, but we're again having a lot more success throwing the football. We had run a double move on their safety earlier, had a chance for a big play. Obviously, based on where the clock was, having one timeout, we had burned 2 timeouts to give our offense as much time as possible late in the game as we could. Obviously, after the fact, when you see the result of the game, the result of that play, you'd love to say, yeah, you'd like to run the ball a little bit more in that situation. But we had some other issues that did not help that play be successful either. So, obviously after the fact, it's easy to say we should have ran the ball or called something different in that situation. But yeah, it's something that we discussed as an offensive staff. It's something we discussed as a team. But we had been very successful being aggressive throwing the ball, for really the whole second half. Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. I think it's fundamentals and techniques that we need to do a better job of coaching. It's also, the fact that, like I mentioned at the beginning of the season, we got the second youngest team in FBS football. Those things show up when you go on the road, handling a tough environment with a young team. Those things happen sometimes. And then on top of that, the tackling. We need to do a better job, that fine line of what can you do in practice with fundamentals and technique without live tackling. I think that's something that we got to do a better job of coaching. We got to do a better job of emphasizing, and the players that also have to embrace and understand throwing a shoulder is not good enough when you have big physical running backs. Yeah, that's one that's a little bit different. Typically when you're talking about ball security, you're talking about decision making at the quarterback position when it comes to interceptions, not ball security. We do the same ball security drills with the quarterbacks that we do with everybody else on the offense every single day. We take a period every single day, every practice since I've been here, and do ball security. Obviously, standing in the pocket's a different thing. The quarterbacks do not get the banging in practice and the stripping and things like that other positions do. You just can't afford to have those guys getting hit like other positions. So that's something that we just need to continue to emphasize. Ball security, 2 hands in the pocket. And being physical and durable enough to make sure, okay, you're going to get tackled, but you got to come down with the ball. So I think there's a difference between fumbles and when you get hit in the while you're delivering the football in your motion, you take one hand off the ball to actually throw and you get hit from the blind side. I think that's a little bit different than the other ones. We need to protect the quarterback better in those situations. The other hits where he's getting hit, while he has the 2 hands on the ball or where the ball's tucked away, that's something that we need to get fixed. Yeah, I think whenever you're missing starters, missing guys that have played significant reps for you, and again, you're a young football team as it is, and you get the combination of those 2 things, youth and guys being out, there's no doubt it creates challenges. You got less experienced guys on the field that have to step up in more prominent roles. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Kevin Givens, is already a redshirt freshman and is starting and playing a big role, and then you lose him. Obviously, Jason Cabin is playing a lot of football here, played at a high level. Not having him, has been significant. And then even kind of throughout the game, Brandon Bell and Naeem had some times, where they were banged up. So, all those things kind of factor into it. There's no doubt about it. You want to be as healthy as you possibly can. You want to have as much experience on the field as you possibly can, but that's part of the game as well. We understand that. Cam Brown, I think you're going to see his role continue to grow. Again, as a true freshman playing linebacker in the Big Ten, you'd like to have a little bit more time to develop those guys, but he's shown enough signs that we need to get him on the field. And on top of that, we're thin at those positions. So Cooper and Manny and Cam Brown, I think you're going to see bigger and bigger roles for those guys. I think they've taken strides. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think those guys have worked real hard in the offseason. I think Coach Limegrover has done a nice job. We're still not where we want to be in terms of being able to impose our will on defensive lines and be really physical. That's something that should show up in the run game. That's something that should show up, in pass protection. And I think they're headed in that direction. We need to be more consistent. We need to be more physical. We need to have more of a finisher's mentality in general. But it's like on Saturday. I mean, that defense is designed to make you one-dimensional. I think we had 38 runs called in the game, but they overloaded the box. And again, it doesn't make sense to hand the ball off when they have extra men in the box that you can block. So. That's something, again, depending on what the defense gives us, is going to create opportunities. We had plenty of opportunities in the passing game because of their commitment to stop the run, and that's why you see the game played out the way it played out. So, for us to be the team that we want to be, we got to be more physical up front. So when we do have those opportunities to run the ball based on numbers, that we're able to finish blocks and not allow defenders to fall back off, and get involved in the tackle. And then in pass protection, I think we've improved dramatically, but we still have a ways to go.